Can someone tell me what's going on? Because I'm lost. Apparently, Arleen Izza is no longer available, or the quest line is no longer there. I can't tell because I never finished the quest. You get her on the 6th part, and yet there's a 7th quest after it, and I just never got around to do it. But Arleen Izza is no longer available? Is that what's going on? I'm getting a bunch of mixed signals and stuff about the quest reset. The quest is no longer available. You have to do it again, or it's just not there. Can you guys let me know down in the comments what the hell you guys are experiencing? Regardless of what it is, we're gonna go over Frankenstein's bride here. Let's get into it. So Arleen Izza, the next hero that we should have or magically got from the new black metal event, the Halloween Fortnitemares, all of that stuff. She's the new one. And so far, even though her perk sounds great on paper, and it probably is the best that we've gotten out of this set, it's still kind of underwhelming. So let me explain what she does, because there's a little bit of math behind it, and I want to make sure that on this channel we bang that out. So Monster Smash, her commander perk is useless. Phantasms, unless something comes along the line, you can use it in an AoE niche kind of build, maybe on an Outlander or something, but the Phantasm perk itself, not the commander perk. Once we get the ability one, combine that with the zap from the Cyborg Outlander, there is play there where you can make like a true AoE build, and that's all you focus on. But as of right now, the Phantasms, they don't hit hard enough, they don't spawn enough. The main issue actually is the 0.5 tile radius, not the best. But Monster Smash on support is actually a decent ability in most things, if you consider two things. Increases life leech with melee attacks and going Constructor by up to 15% based on the percentage of your missing health. Now, originally I recorded this and I was saying the wrong information, so you know what? We tested it. I tested it on stream, and this is how this perk works, because it's worded very weirdly. Originally, I thought it was just based on your health, meaning the damage of the weapon doesn't matter at all. It all comes down to how much health you are missing. That is incorrect. What this actually does is adds 15% life leech to your currently equipped melee weapon, which is a good thing, but I thought the perk was going to be based off your health like Paleo Luna and all the black metal set 5th perks that we've gotten so far. So for example, to try to make this as clear as possible, you are doing 15% life leech based off the damage you are hitting for. So hypothetically, if you hit for 10,000, you're getting 1,500 health. No, is that right? That might be wrong, but that's the general idea. I never said I'm good at math. I just understand how the game works. So that's what it is. So that means two things. One is harder hitting weapons will get a bigger benefit from this buff. Damn, that was a sentence. And the second thing is AoE trumps everything while you're trying to get the best benefit from this buff. So example being the ear splitter, the surround pound, anything with a huge AoE attack that can hit multiple targets, because it's not on eliminations, it's on hits. You can hit the same enemy twice and gain that life leech multiple times, but it is on multiple hits. So for example, the ear splitter, you will heal up to full in about 1 second if you like spawn an encampment, because you're hitting the enemy maybe 4 or 5 times before they die in a large AoE circle, and every single one of those hits gives you healing. Plus it's a spear, so on average it's hitting for 50, 60, 70,000 depending on your build, non-crits, and you get the health percentage from the base damage of a spear, as they're one of the harder hitting weapons in the game. Originally, when this perk came out, I tried it on Paleo Luna, and with certain weapons it's really strong on Paleo Luna. However, I use the weapon that I use all the time on Paleo Luna, which is the Stab Worth 3 with double attack speed and life leech. This does stack on top, but even so, you're only looking at 20.4% lifesteal. Without any damage on the weapon itself, you're only hitting for 20,000. And on Paleo Luna, it does not take her 16.5% weapon damage or health damage into consideration while giving you the life leech perk. So, a weapon like this, the Stabs Worth 3, is completely useless with this perk. Like I said, you're looking for hard-hitting, big AoE melee weapons. That's really where this perk does come into play. And when you have all of that, it works out really well. Use things like the Spectral Blade, of course, probably the best melee in the game. The Surround Pound hitting for 35,000. It does affect crits. So once you crit with the hammer, I've hit up to 1.6 million with the right build. You will heal for 15% of 1.6 million as long as you're missing at least 15% of your health. All in all, I think it's a pretty good staple in most melee builds. Not all, but most. It's pretty fantastic on Paleo Luna, being able to use your Spectral Blade and kill a lot of things basically in a click or two, depending on how hard, the content you're doing is. Paleo Luna, again, has 1 million health, give or take, and has a ton of survivability built in, and that leaves you room to not bring coconuts or anything like that. Another good weapon you definitely want to check out is like something like the Mic Drop or anything, the Husk Warper, the Sir Lancelot, anything that hits multiple targets at once. The things you want to stay away from are single attack weapons. So the Stabs Worth, the Masamune, things that AoE or heavy attack just really don't do much. It would be really good on something like the Steam Thrasher. Again, it being a scythe, one of the harder hitting subtypes of melee weapons at 32,000. It can crit all the time, etc., etc. So lastly, let's just take a look at some perks or builds you might want to try. Like I said, the character herself, as you'll see, is not very strong. It's just not. The phantasms don't really make it work. You can do a build something like this with Monster Smash and Totally Rockin' Out. You can play it with Blast from the Past as well. It works really good with both of these. Totally Rockin' Out gives you the crit chance for the bigger 15% chance heals and gives you more damage, and Blast from the Past just gives you some more survivability plus damage. You could do something like this with Actuated Attacks, Assassination Software, and then Bringing Down the House and Battle Beat to get your Totally Rockin' Out up and running. However, what I tended to use and enjoyed mostly was a build like this with the Ear Splitter. Rapid Charge, Totally Rockin' Out, Bringing Down the House, Monster Smash, Energy Siphon, Corrosive Strikes, and Battle Beats. Let's break this down, why this works so well. I did this in, I believe it's 124, 132 encampment missions, and absolutely destroyed it. Crushed it. This build is very similar to God Mode 2.0, a video I put out a while ago, because what's going on here is pretty cool. You have Monster Smash, which increases your life leech if you lose health, and then you have Energy Siphon. If you damage anything with an energy weapon, you gain your shield back. Since you're going to be planted in place, you're going to get hit with the Ear Splitter. So it ends up being a pretty good trade-off for some damage, for some much needed survivability. You can also you can get rid of Corrosive Strikes if you want to, and bring the other heavy attack affliction perk from this guy right here from Point Fury. You could bring this in here and it would work really well with the build. Occasionally I had to move, but for 95% of the content I was doing, there weren't enough enemies around for me to kill. I would hold it in place for a second or two, kill literally everything, and then would have to readjust to get the blasters and flingers and anything that has a little bit of range on them. So you're trading off a decent amount of damage for some survivability, but you're getting that back in a sense with the crit rating and battle beat applied to it. Again, you're using a spear, so in this build or in this scenario, you're using a spear, which in itself is a harder hitting weapon, allowing you to do a decent amount of damage regardless. I always say it in my videos, there's not enough hard content here. Because there's better things, you wouldn't run a build like this in 174. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I wouldn't suggest it. Once it gets that high up, the enemies just do too much damage for you to tank anything on any build, really. So you're looking for more like a DPS oriented loadout. I compared Blast from the Past versus Totally Rockin' Out a while ago. Maybe I'll stick a link up there. But yeah, that is my feelings on the new character that is suddenly gone. No idea where she went. Don't know why she's gone, but she is, I think. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, appreciate it. If you like it, maybe think about subscribing. If you're new, I post videos like this, trap tunnel guides and weapon breakdowns all the time. If you guys like streams, I stream at twitch.tv/Roundedtiktak. We'd love to have you come by and say what's up. And lastly, if you're looking for a way to support the channel in any way, you can always use creator code OOTiktakOO. I really hope I helped explain exactly how this perk works. I'm really curious why she's gone, and all in all, I think it's a pretty decent perk for melee builds. Thank you guys so much once again. I'll see you on the next one. Tiktak out.